here at Workshop 2018 with the veteran board member. I feel like you just came on, Kevin.
It feels like it.
But he's been on for 6 years, Kevin Blondina from the Franklin Borough Board in Sussex County. We have quite a few Franklins in New Jersey.
Oh, yes, there are.
As a veteran board member, Kevin, what do you come to Workshop?
Workshop for us is a way that we can take information back, we can bring it back to our own boards. We don't reinvent the wheel, and we start implementing changes to our boards for the better to make us more efficient, to make us more collaborative, and to make sure that we're doing the right things. It's something that in the past, years ago, we didn't get involved with as much. In the last 3 years or so, we've kind of had a change of culture at Franklin Borough where Workshop has been the cornerstone of all the information that we get, besides working with our NJSBA rep, and I'll plug her, Kathy Hellowa.
So, Kevin, what were maybe a session that stood out for you? We're only halfway through, but...
Well, my own session, I got to speak today, yesterday morning.
That was going to be my next question.
Okay, sorry, I'll combine it into two. I was fortunate enough to be asked to be a panelist on changing your board culture. And number one, the turnout was phenomenal. I got to serve with 3 other board members who were just outstanding and actually inspiring. And we got to trade stories about what we had come into as board members, and most of us being board presidents, what the problems were, and how we've turned it around, and how we solved it. And the funny thing was the key thing from everybody was our involvement with the NJSBA, was working with our rep, coming to workshops, doing all the other workshops, doing board retreats with our representative, and you could see that was one of the biggest, things that we all had in common to change that culture of our board.
That's great, and that's the other thing about Workshop is people can learn from each other. Board members can learn from other board members.
Absolutely.
Sometimes in the session, sometimes informal networking. So do you recommend to your new board members, or would you recommend to board members to come to Workshop and other training events?
Oh, absolutely. We not only recommend it, but especially with new board members, what we try and do is we all sit down at our committee meetings and say, okay, in our committees, these would be great workshops for people in our committee. This would be a great workshop for a new board member, so that they can understand what's our role as board members. As long try and getting them comfortable with what their positions are, so they're not micromanaging. They understand, and they can ask a lot of questions, because I think that's intimidating for a new board member, and they do. For me, I always try and go into every session that I do and bring back at least 2 or 3 points. And the nice thing was, even though I was a speaker at the last one yesterday morning, I was able to still come away with 4 or 5 different points that I can bring back to my board. And then after that, we'll all be sitting down in our committees and discussing, ways we can implement. And it's been fantastic for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Kevin Blondina from the Franklin School District.